welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis, if you already know, and if you haven't read the title already, today we finna get into the one and only Mr. the Larry Bird, period. Okay, so y'all know I done made a few videos about him, and so on my YouTube suggestions, because y'all know I be on YouTube too, like I be watching other YouTubers, shout out to the other YouTubers and stuff like that. So I be on my YouTube suggestions, they suggested a video that I had never seen before, because y'all know I be doing my research. When I tell y'all I'm gonna do my research, right? So that's what I did. I clicked on the video. I was just like, wait, I haven't never seen this one before. So, and it was like 5 to 10 minutes long. So I was just like, yes, I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch it and I'm going to do a reaction video to it. Perfect, right? And so that's what we finna be doing today. We finna get back into some Larry Bird. I freaking love me some him. There was a movie that I watched the other day that was just like, y'all be praising all these other basketball players, but y'all don't ever mention Larry Bird. And I was just like, facts. If you know, you know. I would have never knew. This time last year, I would have never knew who Larry Bird was. Like, and I'm not even gonna hold y'all, but I'm so excited that y'all on to Mr. Larry Bird. I think he's amazing. I think he's one of the best players ever to touch down in basketball, period. So that's what we're finna get into today. But before we get into this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment by the end of it if you want to. So now let's go ahead and get into the video. Let's see, y'all.
The man from Indiana who gave us an 80s to remember by lighting up a battle between the Celtics and the Lakers will forever be heralded as one of the players who saved basketball. Bird and Magic's coast-to-coast jaw-dropping styles gave the NBA the boost it needed before the emergence of Michael Jordan. But for Bird, with 3 titles, 2 Finals MVPs, and 3 consecutive MVP seasons, some forget just how good he really was. Today we look at NBA players explaining how crazy good Larry Bird was in his prime. When speaking of the NBA's greatest of all time, there's always 5 or 10 guys that hit the list. Each carries a different generation. From 50s Bill Russell to 60s Wilt Chamberlain or 70s Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 80s Magic Johnson, 90s Michael Jordan, 2000s Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, to today's LeBron James. Some get overlooked when they should. For example, Tim Duncan. And others get left behind because of the lack of titles, like Charles Barkley. What happens when all these players talk of another great as if he was like no other? Larry Bird was lauded by most of these legends. Oh my gosh, look at him. I love him. He was consistent, tough, offensively masterful, and one of the first big guys to shoot many three-point shots. LeBron James spoke candidly in an interview about how he was one of the few guys ever to win a three-point contest with a warm-up shirt on. Y'all
be dogging LeBron in my comments, and I don't like you for that. Don't do that.
For young guys that don't know him, you know, they think of Larry Bird as a jump shooter. But he was so much more than that. He was a passer. He averaged double-digit rebounds. He defended, he took charges. And, you know, he's a straight-up complete basketball player, and me as a small forward.
Late in his career, LeBron adapted his game to the new way of basketball, which was a charge led by the Golden State Warriors in shooting more from behind the arc. LeBron was considered a big guy, but began shooting more threes, and no doubt was heavily influenced by the fact that Larry Legend had already achieved this feat in the 80s. In another interview, when asked about his top 3 of all time, LeBron put Larry Bird firmly in there with MJ and Dr. J.
Oh my God. 3. Larry Bird, Dr. J. Michael.
Shaq had a very different opinion on Larry initially. He said he disliked Bird because he was jealous. He thought, how could this regular-looking guy do everything?
I never really had a chance to play against Larry Bird, but I actually used to hate Larry Bird.
As he should, you little hater.
Shaq soon realized as he grew older and wiser that despite getting the luck of the Irish with the Celtics, Larry made his own luck when it came to shooting the ball. Shaq, at 7'1", of course, had a completely different style of game at the time. He was
7'1". That man was putting in work. Y'all know how I feel about him versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right?
Faster than most give him credit for, particularly in the early part of his career.
Shaq was kind of cute.
O'Neal runs the floor. Bird was notoriously slow, which was all the more testament to his skill set, but his basketball IQ was just on a different planet. He once sank a shot from behind the backboard, which O'Neal chalked down to a fluke following a bet with his friend.
That is so embarrassing. Oh my God.
Shaq never really got the chance to play against Larry Bird, which is unfortunate, because I don't think it would have taken him so long to recognize greatness. On the other hand, 6-time NBA champion Kareem Abdul-Jabbar battled Bird on numerous occasions while playing with the Showtime Lakers. Bird got the better of him in the 1984 finals, and took another 2 in a decade that was largely dominated by the purple and gold. Kareem spoke about how Larry might have been the best he had played against, and said,
how good was Bird?
And y'all don't think Shaq can take Kareem? Like, come on.
White guy, slow guy.
The chubby white guy, he wore us out, man. You know, because see, this muscle here, the one between his ears,
Yeah.
that was his best, you know, because he made the 3-pointers and he had assists and rebounded, steals.
All of
He was always
it.
at the right place at the right time on the court. You know, one of the great players, you know, I had the opportunity to play with.
11-time All-Star Charles Barkley, a regular season MVP during a star-filled 90s, was once asked, "Are you better than Bird?" And he took a long pause before answering, which is very telling.
Am I better than Bird? Oh, man, that's a great question.
Come on now.
Most great players respond immediately with how they think they're the best, because you have to have that kind of mentality in order to get to the top. Instead, Barkley answered,
I'm a better rebounder. I'm probably a better defender. He's a better shooter, obviously. You know, a lot of people talk about who's better.
But you have to think, you have to have that mentality.
No, you know.
Yeah. Don't be delusional.
Like, I think, you know, it's a team game.
I think deep down he knew that Bird was a better player. And for someone as good as Chuck to be stumped like that in an interview shows you how heavy the weight of Larry Bird's legacy was. Former teammate Kevin McHale also references how unreal Bird play with. McHale was Bird's right-hand man while playing with Boston, claiming the Sixth Man of the Year award.
He just
twice,
didn't want to
along
admit
with
it. That's
7
all that
All-Star
was.
appearances. His story of a specific Detroit game is fascinating. There was a bit of time left on the clock, and we had beaten Detroit, and I just scored 56, and I'm walking off the court, and Larry said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm done." I said, "I'm exhausted. I'm tired." Larry goes, "Don't do it, man, because when I get that hot, I'm not coming out of the game." A week later, he got that hot. He looked at me at about 50 points, and he looked at me and said, "I told you." The pair would go on to win 3 titles together, and McHale would continue to tell stories that live on in Celtics folklore forevermore. A highlight being a throwback from Bird's brutal trash talk at a game in Phoenix.
We have a play, out of bounds play, I'm taking it out, and Larry says, "I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3, and I'm like, "We're down 2. I'm like, "No, don't do that." I'm like, "Let's shoot a 2, please. Go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime."
Confidence. I love that.
I'm like, oh my God. So he tells the Phoenix bench, he tells the coaches, "Yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this." And he gets the ball.
All right, y'all, so hold up. I know I just cut you off like in the middle of that video and stuff like that. I don't know if we're gonna finish it. I don't know, because I know and you know how well he played, like how well of a player he was, but I want to do his highlights. So I ran out of storage. Like, I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop. Ran out of storage and stuff like that, so I got on here to wrap this video up. That concludes this video. I'm not going to be dropping stuff like this, like the little rinky-dink quality, "Oh, she's half-assing." We're not doing that. Oh, don't expect this to happen often. We're not doing that, period. So anyways, you guys, that wraps up this particular video. I know it wasn't much to it and stuff like that. I just love watching people say how much of an amazing player he was, because that's what I think, and I know you guys think that too, especially if you're a fan of his. But yeah, so that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and be on the lookout for more Larry Bird. Y'all know I love him, and I will see you guys in the next video.